Put that on T-Bone, homie. Gotta keep pushing. These fools is gaining on me. Don't get no second chance. Put that on T-Bone, homie. This life moves too fast. Feeling like NASCAR. 46 up 10, had to make a pit stop. Gas me up real quick. You need some fresh tires. Back out on the track. Sleep shot like Ricky Bobby. Sleep shot like Ricky Bobby. Sleep shot like Ricky Bobby. For those who have prayed on me, the demons took your place. Lost your brother a long time ago, I still see his face. And he told me to keep that flame lit. And it's still burning inside. The evil racing around me, but I'm getting to check the flag. It's now or never. If I ever reach the finish line, I know I'm going to get it.
Hey, what's good, everybody? How's y'all doing today? I'm awesome. You know what I mean? It's Thursday. You know, it is what it is. We alive. Let's be thankful for it. My name's Micah Honore, and this is In the Blender. Let's dive in and see what we can mix up. All right. Okay, so last week and a half ago, been about 10 days, we were talking about, you know, the day in the life of an empath, sort of on the surface level of what we go through and not necessarily what to expect from us, but things to notice when you encounter us, when you run into us on the street or at the club or the library, wherever church, sometimes we won't be in church. I don't know about all that, but anyway, that's another story. So, you know, it's you have to be just as aware of your surroundings with us as it would be with anything in anything in your daily adventures, no matter what, where it might take you. It's just there are some very strong indicators of just our normal everyday behavior and how we operate. You know, sometimes we might look like we're lost. Just look confused, and I mean, we're not, but we might be in the middle of a heavy thought, and next thing you know, we got this look on our face, and it's like, whoa, are you okay? Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm just running some shit through the weeds and trying to see what comes up, But okay, so I'm going to try to explain what different types of energy we encounter on a daily basis. And I'm going to try to be as clear but as concise as possible. I don't want to drag this out, because you're getting into particulars, just like, anything else that's complex, like medicine or calculus, computer programming, video gaming, sports, So, but, all right, so I just want to throw something out there in the beginning, like, we're dealing with energy. So, it's important to understand what kind of energy you're putting out as a person, what kind you're taking in, where it goes when you take it in. Because there's an old Indian proverb about, there's two wolves inside of every person. One's good and one's bad. And the one that wins is the one you feed. So if that definitely comes into play a lot when you're dealing with energy and, what to do with it, how to understand it, how to process it, how to utilize it the right way. There's a lot of stuff, you got mantras and your Om Chi Om and all that and everything. And you've got your mindfulness, meditations, prayers. And there's a whole bunch of different things that you can use to sort of help you focus your intentions with this energy. And, it's like when we feed the wolf that's hungry, it doesn't matter which one we feed, a lot of shit's going to happen. So, hopefully that you're feeding the right one. Sometimes we don't know which one we're feeding. We just know, like, this motherfucker's hungry. So I got to feed his ass. And that's what we do. So, I think on a subconscious level, we do kind of hope for the best, but at the same time, we're kind of pissing in the wind, hoping we don't get splashed. So there's that. You know, and there's more than just, like, you got good, bad, wolf. That's sort of binary at its best. And definitely, to me, everything is always going to be multidimensional. There's more than just, an on-off switch when you're dealing with all kinds of shit. There's different, gray areas. Some lines are thinner than others. Some lines are thicker than others. It just depends on, what you're dealing with in life. So, like, when you're dealing with energy, and to understand it as an empath would understand it, it is complex because, there's a lot of gears in motion. There's a lot of moving parts to it. I will say this. Everybody on this planet has these tools at their disposal. How well you use them or exactly how you're able to access them is up to each person individually. I've refined my skills over a few decades. I started young. I remember being probably 8 or 9 years old the first time I felt what somebody was thinking, or their emotional content kind of bled over into me, and I noticed it. Yeah, I was probably about 8 or 9 years old. I didn't really talk about it a whole lot because what do you say to somebody? Oh, well, hey, how does this work? Or, why would you be thinking about that? You're a married person. That did happen. I had to ask somebody some shit, and I got told about it. Like, you don't need that, boy. That's something you don't need to be worried about. That's grown folks' business, and I respected that. I just said, all right, cool. Okay, I guess I ain't fucking with that today. But yeah, when you have that awakening moment, and you like understand that you understand it, you're like, holy shit. And I thought about that in my head right before you did that. So, everybody has flashes of deep empathy like that. The visions, the just sort of clairvoyance, flashes of the future or the past, or feeling something that somebody else felt at that time. That's what it is to be empathetic or empathic. Empathetic is sort of the act. Empathic is like the verb, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not getting into grammatics. I'm a grammar Nazi any other day, but today, not. I'm going to let it slide. But, yeah, so, we have different strengths. And, it's like, how does that energy affect us? Well, we know that there are different types of dimensional energy in this world, in the universe itself. Different types of energy create black holes. And it might have the same types of energy that creates planets on the inside of it, gravitational pulls and all this stuff, force vectors and waves and shit and whatever. So, but no, it's a completely different type of energy. That's why we have, when we talk about our 4 elements, earth, wind, fire, and water. So, I'm not going to get into those, verting white impersonations and shit. So, like just those 4 itself, animal, vegetable, mineral, it breaks down in different ways. And, there's different chemical variations, atomic levels to each, earth, wind, fire, water, the compounds and stuff. So, but, I guess that's more basic. But inside of that, there are different types of energy that are created from those 4 base elements. And you've got, like, You've got physical energy, which is an energy that activates one, all, or a combination of your five senses, your five physical senses. So you've got something you can taste, something you can touch, something you can hear, something you can smell, something you can see. You've got those five. And I would say for me, that's my kryptonite. The physical distractions of energy, like the physical energy is interrupting whatever it is I'm doing at the time. Man, it messes me up at work all the time. And, just anywhere. Like if I'm in a booth and somebody walks by, because there's a window, that's why you'll see me. I'm looking that way because there's a window. But those are probably the most noticeable, not quite the most talked about, but I'll say the most noticeable, because it is something that's, your senses can see us doing what the fuck we're doing. If we start wigging out in the middle of a concert because somebody plays the wrong note, and oh my God, bro, nope, I'm sorry. I know that's sort of I'm a musician too, so anybody that knows me is like, when you hear me and I hear some shit, it's like, yeah, no. But okay, so then you've got physical, you've got emotional energy, which is probably the most impactful, because emotions are so raw, and it does take a lot to process a strong signal like emotions. There's a lot of feedback, I'll say, from that standpoint alone, from the perception of somebody who is like, I can handle this. I'm an empath. I'm built for this. Somebody having an extreme emotional reaction to a situation, and you're in the middle of that situation. Sometimes your ass just get knocked the fuck over. And you got to sit there and be like, oh my God, what is wrong? I can't even. You might have to excuse yourself. And other people might be looking at you like, yo, what the fuck is. This nigga just ran. Like, I mean, she tripping, but damn, it ain't that bad. We have such a strong connection to the emotional content of other beings. And I know this might sound crazy, but I hear grass. I hear animals in distress. It's weird. It is. It's really fucking weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I do. That's part of the clairaudience factor of it. Well, I'll get here to that in a minute, but yeah, physical and emotional energies. The mental energy might actually be the most exhausting. Spiritual energy is more, or emotional energy is something that we don't necessarily create from the inside, but it may come through us and come out on the other side of us in a different way. We might amplify it, or, cut it down. We might refine it somehow, break it down into smaller pieces, but it doesn't come from us. Mental energy, a lot of the times, is something that, we're creating thoughts. We're creating our actions before we perform them with our bodies. So I feel like there's each level has its own challenges and benefits to our makeup as a person, in general. And you got to understand that even if you're not someone who can be someone whose antenna is strong enough to receive these signals, and you're not tuned into it, you're still affected by it. They used to tell us, and they used to tell me back in the day, and I'm sure it's a lot of y'all Gen Xers, y'all have heard this. They look at you and go, no matter whether you believe Jesus is going to come back, Jesus is going to come back. So that concept applies. It will affect you. You just might not understand what the fuck is going on. You might not be consciously, observing what you're doing. And that's another thing. We can consciously observe what we do for the most part. We can just, like, in the middle of doing something, I'm telling myself, like, yo, do this shit. Do it this way. Some people go with the flow and they're like, oh yeah, I'm about to jump in it. No, a lot of the times, because we have to be meticulous with your emotions, or we're gonna mess you up. We're gonna mess your world up. We have to be meticulous with our own emotions, or we will destroy a lot of stuff. Because the energy, that's, like I said, that's pretty much the basis of where I'm going with this, is dealing with energy. And I'm trying to merge a little bit of science and, some universal concepts, some astrology. There's a lot of different things that I'll be talking about that I will expand on over the course of however long this thing lasts. But, it's one of those things that you don't have to understand it all. Just understand enough to make it work for you in your life. And that's where I think a lot of religions fell short. And if I catch flack for that, then I'm just being honest. I think if a lot more people would look at just their life from a spiritual perspective and say, I don't care where my information comes from. I want to learn what I need to learn to be a better person. And if it comes from 89 different books or 2, whatever's enough for you is enough for you. Can't nobody else tell you what's going to be enough for you. They might underestimate you, which a lot of people do. They're going to underestimate you. But I think you can handle it. If you're listening to this, you already know me. If you know me, then you know what to prepare for. If you don't know me, I know this is only my 3rd episode of the podcast. I hope you guys have been, checking out some of the stuff I've been posting on my social media. I do the AI graphic design, and I with the quotes and all that. So hopefully this isn't the only avenue for you to see my life, to understand what what I'm about, what's going on in my head, in my heart, how I see the world, how we can be cool with each other. There's a lot of different ways. My music, I'm working on some stuff. It's a little slow with everything going on, and I'm trying to streamline some stuff. But no, yeah, it's you never know where your inspiration for life is going to come from. So don't subject yourself to just one train of thought or being really myopic about it and just like looking through the peephole. Open a fucking door. Anyway, sorry about that. No, I'm not really. But so, like, the last type that I'm going to talk about today is called astral energy. I'm sure everybody's heard of the astral plane, and there's a lot of literature out there about it. And if you really want an existential education, learn up on the astral plane. Learn up on that. There's a lot of concepts that you probably already understand. You just don't know it. You just don't know that you understand them because that's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at certain things from a scientific standpoint, we've all had some sort of scientific education. If you understand what you were taught in school or college, or what you've learned over the years and the jobs you might have had or acquaintances, if you understand what, basic concepts of science are, then it'll lock in real quick. If not, then you might, you have to do a little studying. There's nothing wrong with that. You never stop learning. But it's the astral plane is sort of an umbrella term. There's a lot of different energy floating around there, and it's been told that that's where angels are. Some people call it purgatory. Then you've got, that's the middle between the seven firmaments of heaven and hell. There's a whole bunch of shit going on in there. So I just call it the astral plane, period. It is a dimension where a lot of spiritual things occur. So, on top of that, it's where we were born from, and that's where we die to. It's energy. So it doesn't exist on our material plane. Like I said, fifth dimension, sixth dimension. There's a lot of different ways to explain it, describe it. If you need more information, I'm sure at some point I'll probably deepen the dive into it. Google search astral plane, see what the hell they come up with, see what you can find. And when we get into mixing all of these energies together, and we have our little stew, whatever you want to call it, gumbo, energy soup. We take it all. We don't sort it all. It's not like a bouncer at the club. You letting all the hot broads in, and like the little lame bitches be off on the side. Like nah, girl, you can't. See, we don't have the red carpet. We ain't got the what they call it, the velvet rope. We ain't got that. We literally take it all in. It's like dumping a storage unit into an efficiency apartment and trying to sort that shit out and keep what you want and get rid of what you don't want. It's a mess. I think a lot of people process information that way, and that's why there are so many different types of miscommunications and misunderstandings, because sometimes the situation doesn't allow that requirement to take place. It doesn't allow you to pre-sort. So it is what it is. But and it just key information gets lost. Key information gets lost in the shuffle, and sometimes in our urgent rampages through life, we forget to slow down and see what we're actually putting in. So, it's crucial that we try to pre-sort if we can, to help you out a lot in life, and you'll be able to carry less baggage along the way. Being able to carry less baggage is crucial to your development. If you can't get to the shit you need because the shit you don't want is piled up on top of it, then you know where I'm going with that. So, I know we're only 3 episodes in, and I've barely scratched the surface, and this seems so exhausting. I'm already 7 minutes longer than I was in my last one. But, it is an exhaustive topic. It's very diverse. There are so many nooks and crannies and little cubby holes and nuggets of information that you can climb through and find in this little over here, this one over here, this little booth. Yeah, there's so many things you can find out. But like I said, it's basically what it is if you can find what you need to make yourself better in life, 90% of the time in your life, you're not going to have to take it all in. You can cherry pick. That's allowed. You can look at this and go, oh well, this little thing here about the chakras, I like that. It's kind of giving me like some chiropractic, and so you pull it. Oh wait, hold on. This stuff right here about dualism. Oh, the Tao is Tao. Okay, so that's where the yin yang comes. That you can do that. You can do that all day. It's allowed. You don't have to stick to one particular regime or philosophy of life. That's what makes it stale as hell. That's what, drives people to divorce. I know. That is, it's one of the things that it will stunt your development. If you stay in a certain frame of mind and you don't allow yourself the space and time to expand naturally. So I guess that would be my quest for you today and tomorrow and every other day, but just take it one day at a time. Give yourself the space and time to expand naturally. I know it's open up. Open up. You don't have to open up to other people, just open up. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the results. And I think I'm going to cut it off for today. And, it's been great. Thank you for listening and watching. I appreciate you all. I'm a little mixed up after that. I'm sorry, that was a bad pun. Okay, so, maybe you'll come back and we can get blended again. This is Micah Honore, and have a blessed day, and take care of yourself. Peace.